personal life, and her posthumously published memoir, From Here to the Great Unknown. And included amongst them is the devastating abortion that prompted her to get pregnant with daughter Riley Keough. The aborted pregnancy was Presley's second with Chicago-born musician Danny Keough. Just 4 months into their relationship, Presley was rushed to the hospital thinking she had a burst appendix, but instead learned that she was enduring an ectopic pregnancy. Months later, she discovered that she was pregnant again, at just 19 years old. "I didn't know what to do, and neither did Danny," Presley recalls. "I ended up having an abortion, and it was the stupidest thing I've ever done in my whole life." She continues, "I was devastated. I did it and we both cried. We were both destroyed, and not long after that we fell apart and broke up. I couldn't live with myself." Regretting her decision, Presley made a plan to have a child with Keough as he left to join his band on a cruise ship that was traveling the Caribbean. "I could not believe that I had had an abortion. I was so upset with myself. So I made a plan," she writes. "I planned and I plotted and I schemed. I pinpointed exactly when I was ovulating. I even went to Memphis first to hang out with my Aunt Patsy and work out how to make it happen. It was a group effort. I had it down to a science. Then purposely planned a trip to see Danny on the ship." The couple spent the night in Aruba, where unbeknownst to Keough, Presley was enacting her scheme to get pregnant. "Danny had no idea of my plan, but I didn't really care anymore what he thought about it," Presley admits in the memoir. "I didn't care if he wanted to be part of it or not. I felt that I had to redeem, to make amends, because I still couldn't believe I had had an abortion. I thought, I'm going to have this child. There is a child that I need to be having." I would be talking to the lost child saying, "I'm so sorry. I can't believe I effing did that. Please forgive me and stay with me until I get pregnant again." Presley got her wish when, 2 weeks after departing Aruba, she took a pregnancy test that came back positive. She writes that when she called Keough to deliver the news, the next step was clear even before she realized it herself. "Danny knew he had to marry me," writes Presley, the only child of Elvis and Priscilla Presley. "I trapped him. I didn't really mean to, but I did." Prior to her sudden death in 2023, Presley requested her daughter's help with finishing her long-gestating memoir. The resulting book weaves Presley's memories with Keough's own knowledge of the events that transpired, including the days leading up to her own conception. "My mom subsequently told me every detail of timing her ovulation for that moment in Aruba, and she absolutely meant to trap my dad," Riley wrote, also offering insight into her father's side of the story. "The day my dad found out that he was going to be a father, he had been rehearsing in the disco room. The ship was swaying back and forth, and he was holding the drummer's cymbal to save it from crashing down. Off to the right of the disco room, there was a green room, and someone called from there, 'There's a phone call for you, Danny.'" Riley added that it was super rare to get a call through on a ship, as this came long before cell phones. "When my dad got to the phone, he remembers what the phone looked like. It was white. My mom said, 'I'm pregnant,' and my dad dropped the handset," Riley shared. "He was in shock because he never planned to be married or have kids. But something made him go, 'Let's do it.' So he quickly recovered, picked up the phone, and said simply, 'Okay.'" The couple married in 1988, and 3 years after having Riley, welcomed son Benjamin, who died by suicide in 2020 to the family. 2 years later, in 1994, Presley would obtain a divorce from Keough, and 20 days later, began a turbulent 2-year marriage with singer Michael Jackson. They divorced in 1996, citing irreconcilable differences, and according to Presley, they were still together on and off for 4 years following their divorce. Presley was subsequently engaged to Hawaiian-born singer-songwriter John Osachka for 16 months, starting in December 1999, before they called it quits. She wed Nicolas Cage in August 2002, and he filed for divorce a few months later. Presley's final marriage was to music producer Michael Lockwood, who she married in January 2006, prior to welcoming their twin daughters, Harper and Finley, in 2008. 10 years into their marriage, Presley filed for divorce from Lockwood, and a contentious custody battle ensued. Presley died at age 54 on January 12, 2023, due to complications of a small bowel obstruction, a long-term complication from bariatric surgery.